Hi, hello there. This is going to be a very different video from what I usually do, so be prepared. First of all though, Black Lives Matter, and if you disagree, you're a racist cunt and you should fuck off. Please donate if you're able to, and otherwise sign petitions. I'll leave links to everything in the description. Now, recently I saw a tweet saying that TikTok was banning hashtag Black Lives Matter content, which I want to look into some more. A small disclaimer though, I'm not claiming to be a professional, I'm just a kid in a living room. The only credentials that I have are that I studied media and information for 3 years, and mostly I recently wrote my bachelor's thesis on TikTok hashtags, and then mostly related to the coronavirus. So that also means that I still kind of have the tools to do this. Also, I'm gonna leave timestamps in the description to where I mention what, so you can kind of skip ahead to whatever you want to actually see. Because firstly, I want to go through some stuff that I think you should know about TikTok and that can be relevant to this whole thing. First point is that TikTok, like any other big platform application, has overarching community guidelines. In TikTok's case, however, they're often quite vague, where they use phrases such as including but not limited to, so you're never quite sure what something means, and to me this seems like an attempt to cover their own asses. But then the second point is that TikTok on multiple occasions has said that they take local values into account. So this indicates that there are more regulations besides the ones you can see, because these local regulations are never disclosed. 3, apart from when these documents are leaked. But there's really too much shit to cover here because there have been so many scandals. But for example, at one point, these hidden documents, these hidden regulations instructed moderators to ban content by LGBTQ plus creators, or people they deemed ugly, or disabled creators, or garbage shit like that. Which also brings us to the fourth and final point I want to mention, and that is that TikTok is very secretive about their whole filtering process. While both TikTok and their mother company ByteDance have stated that they really pride themselves on using advanced artificial intelligence to select which content should be banned or which is okay, they definitely use human content moderators. Not really gonna go into this too much, but if you want to look into it, I'll leave links in the description. Okay, so again, keep in mind this was a very condensed, very quick fire round of things that might be relevant to this whole ordeal. By the way, I'm doing all of this in real time, to make it as raw as possible. Again, like, this is not an academic paper or anything like that. This is not proper research. I'm just showing you what I can find and what I think of it. So regarding this second point, the one of localization, I have 3 different phones here. 2 of these I used for my thesis research, and these are phones that have not had TikTok installed on it before. They're not using accounts, so these are as clean as possible, basically meaning that there is no personalized input into these accounts, meaning that these algorithms have not been fed any information to customize my experience. Of course, I have used them to do my coronavirus research, but that means that the only bit of, personalized stuff on here is coronavirus related, and that shouldn't impact this all that much. And this is my phone with my account, so a very leftist filter bubble, so I'm not going to use this one too much for this. Now, the localized thing comes in when looking at how this phone has a VPN set to the United States, and this one has one set to Germany. So let's start in the United States, since that seems to be kind of the main place where protests, etc. are happening. Oh, interesting actually, when going to the Discover page, so where you can search for anything, the hashtag Black Lives Matter is the first thing that pops up. Okay, so let's look up the hashtag Black Lives Matter. Okay, so in the United States, it does not seem to be that the hashtag is blocked or banned or anything like that. There's a lot of content there. I'm not exactly going to go through this, I'll do that later on. Because now I want to compare it to Germany. It seems to be pretty much the same thing, where you can look for hashtag Black Lives Matter. Though I do want to point out that if you look up the hashtag in the search bar, it does not display, like, it doesn't pop up as a recommended hashtag. Because usually when you look up hashtag comedy, you'll get the hashtag comedy suggested with how many billion videos have been hashtagged as such. You don't get that with Black Lives Matter. Okay, so lastly, I want to do it from the Netherlands, or just my phone. Yeah, same issue where you don't see the amount of videos. It doesn't pop up as a drop-down search option. Okay, so it seems like as of the 3rd of June, the Black Lives Matter hashtag is not banned or blocked, but it doesn't show up as a drop-down option. it was promoted at the top of the Discover page in the United States, and it showcases many videos. However, one thing I instantly noticed in each of these countries is that a lot of the videos on the hashtag are pretty old, and by old I mean pre-protests, pre-George Floyd. So what I'm gonna do now is basically assemble the ages of the videos and kind of see how it matches up. So I'm gonna go do that now and I'll speak to you in a bit. Okay, hi, back again. Before I dive further into this, I want to point out one more thing. Like I said, if you look up the hashtag Black Lives Matter, you cannot find it in the drop-down menu in the search function. So for example, if you type in hashtag BLAC or hashtag BLACK, you will not get the suggestion for Black Lives Matter or really anything. But, and again, this is regardless of location, this goes in the United States, in the Netherlands, and in Germany. If you type in hashtag BLU, you will get the suggestion for hashtag Blue Lives Matter. You see an issue there? Because I do. I will build upon that a bit later. Now I want to go to the hashtag exploration. Again, I want to point out that this is very limited in scope. This is basically a miniature version of what I did in my bachelor's thesis. I only looked at the top 10 videos on the users tab in Germany and the United States. And one thing that I can say about all of these videos is that they were very positive with regards to the Black Lives Matter movement. There was not a single video kind of condemning it or speaking of it negatively. So that is a good thing. But as I pointed out, I noticed that a lot of these videos were quite old. And that is indeed the case. I kind of classified it as videos posted before and after the George Floyd murder. And in Germany, it was a very clear 50-50 split. In the United States, however, it was a 60-40 split with 6 videos being posted before you know, the current events. And again, that is quite striking because it means that a new user or a very neutral, you know, clean user using it for the first time, looking up the hashtag, will find a couple of videos related to the current events, you know, everything that's happening right now, the protests, the reaction to George Floyd's murder. But they're also very likely to find content that, while it is positive with regards to the Black Lives Matter movement, it does not report on what is important right now or everything that is happening currently. And both of those things kind of show that TikTok is very sneakily banning or actively not promoting the movement. Because if you go onto Twitter and you look up TikTok Black Lives Matter, again, I'm in a very leftist filter bubble, I am aware of this, so obviously that affects my results. But if you do that, you will find plenty of posts by people indicating and having screenshots that the Black Lives Matter hashtag was banned. You couldn't find any content there. And the most shocking thing about this kind of relates back to these community guidelines I mentioned earlier, because you can see that when you looked up the hashtag a couple of days ago, you would simply not see any results. Nothing else. Whereas, and again, this is regardless of location, if you look up the hashtag horny, you'll get a page that says this is in violation with our guidelines, and no results. If you look up the hashtag depression, you will see a page that's like, hey, if you need help, click this link, and no results. In this case, however, nothing whatsoever. You just don't see any results, which to me seems like very clear censorship. Hello, editing Jesper here. So it's been a really long time since I filmed this video, have had a ton of laptop issues and whatever since. Basically, I lost a screenshot of that and I cannot find it again, which sucks. Also, side note, since then, TikTok has apologized for this and said that it was a technical glitch, which sounds very cool, and this was even before they allegedly fixed it. But the same problem remains up to today. I just checked it just now. It still doesn't show view counts. So yeah, they apologized, called it a glitch, and I don't buy it. People instantly noticed, people instantly got angry, then the TikTok CEO posted some bullshit statement about being committed to diversity or some shit like that, and they seemingly like unbanned the hashtag. But did they really though? Did they really? Since if you type in hashtag black, you will not get suggested to go to that page. So unless you're actively looking for that hashtag, you're not likely to encounter it. So what are you really achieving here? And on top of that, that many of these posts you will find are kind of outdated and don't deal with the direct current present situation. It just seems like a very sneaky way to still kind of, you know, suppress the voices. Just stay quiet, guys. I should mention though that it was quite surprising to see hashtag Black Lives Matter on the front page, on the discovery page, in the United States, by the way, not anywhere else. But I'm also curious to see how long that lasts. Lastly, I want to make some notes of the individual pieces of content I encountered while looking through these videos. There was one video pushed to the top related to the current events that was present in both countries, both the United States and Germany, by Naomi Brooke, where she states that TikTok deleted an earlier video she posted under the hashtag Black Lives Matter and deleted the sound. Besides that, there were very few videos of the actual protests. And on the one hand, you could be like, yeah, because those are in violation with the community guidelines, which are, you know, including but not limited to violence, etc. But that's also, it's kind of debatable because you can find those videos pushed to the top. There was one of the George Floyd murder, just directly on TikTok. What does this show? It could show that TikTok content moderators are not good at their jobs, which was kind of the rough, very rough conclusion of my thesis, or just that it's very cherry-picked what is being shown, because the majority of these videos were chains of what was it, a chain of TikTok creators who stand with Black Lives Matter lip syncing to something. Basically what seems to me like the least offensive or least controversial use of the hashtag. Again, I really want to stress that this is just what I'm saying, what I have encountered on these, you know, fucking Samsung phones using VPNs, but this can very likely be the reality for many users. So draw your own conclusions, right? My conclusion would be that TikTok has unbanned the hashtag and is now trying to find new ways to suppress the voices of Black Lives Matter supporters by pushing outdated content to the top, or by not promoting it in the search bar, and thus preventing people who weren't necessarily looking for the hashtag to not find it, to find it. Is TikTok gonna survive the scandal? Yes, of course they are. They have been so fucking terrible in the past as well. They're gonna live through this. Are people gonna keep on using TikTok? Yeah, they are. But I think the most important thing is to just be aware of how not only TikTok but other platforms can actively suppress voices, even though it might not seem like it, even though it might seem like they unbanned something and did something good, they can still try and do this in more sneaky ways. Yeah, that's really all I have to say. Take care, use your voices, use your money, links in the description. Bye.